Hello, welcome and welcome back to the Whole Bucket and this episode of How Do You Do Art? It's May 1st. That means we have a new How Do You Do Art project, and our How Do You Do Art project this month is going to be Masterboards, which I love to bits. But there's more. But wait, there's more. First, let me tell you about this. This is what I'm going to make my masterboard out of. I just added this piece because I thought there were 6 pieces in this pile, and then there weren't. Unless this was the 6th piece. Okay, now I'm going to have some thinking to do because this might be the piece that's supposed to be here. Nope, I don't think that's right. Okay, anyway, 6 pieces of paper. I'm going to chop them all up to bits and then create masterboards out of them, and we'll talk about what masterboards are in the journal making world and what we use them for and why we use them and all kinds of stuff like that. But that's not all, because I also did this. We have a pile of homemade fussy cuts, and I have this. One plain white and one grungied up set of templates. These are freebies from Eva at Bohemian Crafting. And we're going to make something with these and the fussy cuts and the painty papers. And there's a new element. Hold on, I'm checking something. I'm just checking something really quick. Just checking a thing over here. Okay. There's also this. Oh, you can't peek. No peeking. It's a question list. That is the new thing that is also happening in May. So, Masterboards, How Do You Do Art? This is our supply pile. And this is our first venture for the month. There will be many because masterboards are kind of my jam. Oh, the questions. We thought maybe you should meet your maker. Or in this case, meet the members of How Do You Do Art. So we made up some questions about things that we could tell about ourselves and our art journey. Oh, that does not bode well. Anyway, just some questions so that we can share some information about ourselves while we make our masterboards. And you can get to know all the artists better. So, with that said, I am going to take some time to prep some stuff some more. But I wanted you to see the supply pile before I ripped it apart too terribly much. Okay. Hey, I'm back. Did you miss me? That blink, I mean, that can seem like a long time sometimes. So I have everything cut out and cut down and in piles. Right here are the templates, and we're going to start gluing paper onto the not template side. So I'm going to use my giant glue stick, and I'm just going to, you know what, I've never started a masterboard in the middle before. I don't think anyway. So I'm gonna just do this right here. A big pile of glue. And let's see what happens when you start a masterboard in the middle. So, let's talk a little bit about masterboards. The first thing they are is a board. Ha! made up of background stuff that has a theme or a look or a style. Who knows? There's a lot of stuff that oh, let's pull the liquid glue over here. I will put liquid glue on edges that overlap. Like so. Anywho, a masterboard in the journal making world is not the same as some other places you might see it. But the benefit of a masterboard is that if you design your masterboard to go with something you are creating, so out of matching colors or matching style or even scraps from the said project, you end up with a piece that can be turned into a whole bunch of different things. Such as cards and pockets and tags and what have you. And they will all match. And they will create a cohesive suite of things. So they're very, very handy. When I personally make masterboards, I try to turn them upside down to cut them out so that I don't overthink, which is funny to say because I overthink everything. The idea of me not overthinking is ridiculous because you know I'm gonna. Okay, so I need to put some glue down in the second half of this thing because I did not glue the edges of the paper, but I am going to put this right where you saw me put it, hanging off the edge here. And the bit that's going to overlap is just going to be right here a speck. Anywho, I originally wanted to do this out of some super thin paper so that I could be assured of having things fold easily and cleanly and hold together well and still not take up too much space in a journal. That did not happen. This is some bulky paper and it's fine. We'll figure it out. I didn't realize I would be using these Darcy bits for this, but then when I thought about it, okay, what are you going to use for your first project? I thought this is perfect. I've got this big supply of stuff. I need to demonstrate what to do with it. It is from a member of How Do You Do, and we sell this stuff on Tuesdays. So, you know, it's some shameless self-advertising at the same time. Anywho, that's how I ended up doing this particular masterboard and using this stuff, even though it's a tad chunky for what I, you know, was intending. It'll all work out peachy keen jelly bean. And this is all there is to it. Now, granted, you don't have to use pieces like this. You do not have to use rectangles. They don't have to be pre-cut. I think I'm just going to do what you're looking at right there. Put some, hey, here, we'll do this. You know what? I think this video is turning out very discombobulated. I did not keep track of what I was saying. Okay, so anyway, masterboards. You can tear odd pieces. You can do rectangles just like I'm doing, obviously. You can do it in circles if you want. You could do it in flower shapes if you wanted. Wouldn't matter. You could do it in all of the above if you wanted. Okay, this one next. So I'm kind of going in order. I thought 6 different pieces of paper would be enough to make a good collage or masterboard, but now I'm thinking maybe it's supposed to be 7, because look, if I take this and put it here, it's straight across from the other one. I don't like that. There it is above it. There's too close to that one. I think I have to bring this one way down here. It wasn't what I intended. I don't mind it terribly much. But I'm just saying, I think maybe 7 different designs is the way to go. Okay, so any shapes you want, designs you want. If you want to make one super simple, just get some book pages that have different sizes or types of fonts, or have different amounts of aging, right? So old books will have different shades of yellow and browning and all kinds of stuff like that. However, you can create contrast and pattern. That's all that really matters at all. So yeah. I'm really thinking I already wish I had another page. I have another page. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I'm going to do that. I like that. But I think I'm going to turn it over. Like so. And let's try tearing it about, nope, that's way too high. Tearing it about there. Come on. Come on, little lizard. Okay. Not in the least. Okay, what did I just do? Did I totally zone out? I totally zoned out, and I just said not in the least, didn't I? I said that out loud. I slipped into my brain for a minute, and I was thinking about something a little unpleasant. That I heard today. And I apparently reacted to it out loud. Not sure where I want to put this. Maybe up here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm not very good at starting middle first because the middle isn't even kind of done. And I have moved on to all the edges. So apparently I'm a creature of old habit. That is not surprising to me. I already knew that about myself. I am a creature of habit. tore weird. All right. All right. All right. All right. You're getting the gist of this, right? I think I will hit that pause button again. And I will be back when both of these sheets are completely covered. And I will show you what the next step is. And I will answer my very first Meet the Maker. Me, the maker. You get to meet me if you want to. Learn more about me. Because we're answering questions that people might find interesting. And so I'll come back and we'll answer our very first question and work on the next steps together. Okay, be right back. Okay, so I thought I would stop here for a second and show you what I've ended up with. There is one of the Masterboards. That's the second one. And here is the one you saw me making a minute ago, or a second ago. So very, very similar, of course. They're made out of all the same pieces. A little bit different feel to them, but not much. And then one clean and one grungy. Here's what I also have. Those. And wait. All of these. Whoops. Ouch. And these. There's more. Wait, there's more. And these. And these. And those. And if I really wanted to, border pieces that I cut off as well. And some of them are lovely, these borders. So I have lots and lots of leftovers and 2 Masterboards and some cutting to do because I won't do that on screen because, you know, that's more boring than even usual. But I have a lot of things that can happen with these 2 boards and all of this stuff. And think about when you make a bigger piece or make a journal or make a trifold or whatever, all of those little bits can be used as scraps within the art of the other things in the journal, and it'll make it all kind of meld. Oh, that's my favorite part. All right, so I'm gonna go do some cutting, and I'll be right back with some pieces, and we will get to be doing some fun parts. Okay, hi there. So life happened, imagine that, and I did not get to post this video when I wanted to, or even should have. But it's the next morning. Nope, it's the next afternoon. I knew it was close. And I need to get my head around where things are at. But I do have everything cut out. And here is one of the sets that we ended up with. So there is our big coin envelope and the 2 little buttons for it to do a twisty string closure. Here is the tab top. There's one side of it. There's the other side. Look at, oh, that's cool. That's cool. I don't know how this is yet because it'll look different when it's folded. Ah! Here is a pocket. That's looking lovely. I'm a little shocked at how centered stuff is on it. And there is the tag that goes with it. Imagine this was right here. Yeah, like so. So I got all the pieces, and the other set is off to the side right now. It's right there. Because I already folded it and have some ideas on how to decorate it. But I thought we'd go over the folding and idea process for this one together. We can certainly use our scraps to help layer if that turns out to be a thing we want. And this is the grungy side, so we could actually do things a few different ways. In any case, I sat down too soon, and I gotta go get something. So yeah, let's get to it. First things first, let's pull out the magical scoring board. Let's pull out a bone folder and make it a little easier to do this, because it's pretty thick, man. Much thicker than I wanted it to be, but it's okay. In fact, it's got me thinking about a test I think I want to do. So I would like a Masterboard and a tea-dye paperback, and what else? Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Oh, layered and decorated, I guess, would be what's next. Super thin. So, I think the next Masterboard test, and check in to see if I do it, will be tissue paper on, I don't know, maybe really thin tea-dyed paper, but maybe tea-dyed, I have tea-dyed, can't think. I have tea-dyed stuff. Tracing paper. I have tea-dyed vellum too, but that's thicker and it's curlier, as you probably all know. But what if I built tissue layers on top of tracing layers, on top of thin vellum decorations? Or, no, I said that backwards. On the bottom of. All right. Burnish all of these folds, and then see what we got for an envelope. I'm so excited. I'm quite excited about this one. The first little project for Masterboard May for how do you do art, and my first question. My first question for how do you do art. Meet the Maker May. I chose the question, why did you choose to join the How Do You Do group? Because it's my group. I didn't choose to join it. I made it. So I guess the question for me is just a little different. Like, why did you want to start this group? Well, I heard some people in the junk journal community talking about how they were bored and they didn't know what to do anymore, and how we all just do the same thing. It was kind of a belly aching session. You know, we need those once in a while, but I couldn't help but think how wrong that was. I was like, I don't agree. I just didn't agree, because let me reach for an ink, by the way. I don't know what color I'm going to outline this in. I think since it's grungy, I'll do it in the browns. But I don't really have a nice one for this. So, well, I'm not happy with my browns no matter what. I think I need to try Scorched Timber. Someday that might happen. Okay. Right now I'd like a rusty brown. This might be the closest thing I have. Pine cone. So before we glue anything and decorate anything, I'm gonna brown all the edges, because I wanna. Anywho, so I was listening to this conversation and I just kind of disagreed with it. I mean, I saw the point and I understood the, you know, wanting to vent and share that thought, but I couldn't help but think how I'm more amazed at how we are all doing the same thing, but how we think differently and our styles are different, and how we can make the exact same thing, but because of the way we think and because of our personal styles, they all turn out very different. Even people who I share a style in common with, if I'm doing what's in my heart and they are doing what's in their heart, even though we have that commonality, it still ends up very different. So I started thinking, what if I got a package of stuff and gave it to people and said, here, do what you like to do with whatever you like to do. Talk about these supplies, talk about how you use them, talk about what you do if you have things you don't like. How do you not hoard things you do like? Use it instead. I don't know, just a variety of things. I said, I gathered this stuff, and then I got this original group of people, and I'm like, would you guys like to try this? I think I started with one person. It might have been Darcy at Darcy's Misadventures in Mixed Media. And then I think Patty at the Bumbling Crafter might have been next. Sonia at Artsy Solutions was right up there in the beginning. That might have been it. But then I asked them if they knew people, so we reached out a little further. Sorry, I needed a sip. Anyway, we reached out a little further to get a few more people, and there was some excitement, right? So that was the original start of How Do You Do Art, is to have all the exact same supplies, and I mean exact. I made sure that shapes, sizes, colors, patterns, everything was the same, and I made a good pack of stuff. Then we did a collaborative kind of version of the same thing where everybody sent me stuff, and then I redivvied it and remailed it out, and everybody got a same pack, but everybody also contributed. That was fun too. Since then, it has branched into all kinds of different things, but the point is still the same. Given the same task, how do you as an artist approach it? The whole idea is to help us develop our own styles, our own ideas, help us share those ideas with other people to hopefully expand how we think about things and how we see things. And first and foremost, it is so that if anybody else sees our stuff and goes, I wish I could do that, you would learn that yes, you can. And then maybe you would give it a try. So you can try making a masterboard. Why would you make a masterboard if you don't do any of this stuff? What would the point be? I think I'll tackle that question, because there are answers. There are answers to why would you sit and make a masterboard if you don't make junk journals. Well, one of the reasons is my favorite reason for anything art, and that is because it's good for your brain. It's good for your brain. I'm an aging lady. I like to do things that are good for my brain, because I'm not sure how long things are gonna last. I did not mean to make that old lady stutter, but that was pretty funny. I'm gonna see if I can get my corner puncher. It's behind a lot of stuff right now. I'm gonna see if I can get this in there. I don't think I can. I wish these corners were curved and these corners. So I have to do it by hand, and I'm just not that great at that. So I'll go just a tiny speck curvy and a tiny speck. This one's already curvy, really. This up here. I just curved the very top of it a speck more. And then that's not curvy at all, lady. That's just like a tank top. Okay, and oh, bad, 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 bad. I knew it was bad as soon as the scissor got hold of the paper. Oh well, that'll have to do. Look at me. What a mess already. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing how quick the mess happens. All right, I need to edge this one. Anyway, so I didn't join How Do You Do, but that is the story of how it started. So if you hear the other members answering that question, why did they join? That, to me, will be fascinating. I'm excited to hear the answers for that one because I don't know how they're feeling. I don't know how they're feeling about joining the group. I don't know why they joined the group. I don't know how their ideas about the group have changed or grown or whatever. What I do know is that every time I did a project in the beginning, and this is actually still the beginning, but every time I did a project, people wanted to know, when's the next one? What are we doing now? So there was some excitement and some energy. And I would like very much if we managed to keep that excitement and energy along the way. That would be stellar. I'm going to move my camera over and down. Sorry if I'm making you seasick. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's make sure the glue is open and functioning today, and it is. Good. And start gluing this so it can dry a bit. I want that down first. All right. Close, please. Ah! Jeez, I can't believe how skilled I am at getting color everywhere. It's a talent, I'm telling you. All right, so this video is quite late. This was supposed to be my opening video for May, and it was supposed to come out at midnight, and it didn't. So it is now officially in 9 minutes, 8.5 minutes, I suppose. It will be 13 hours late. That's all right. I'll make a couple more videos because I've got some really intriguing ideas, at least for my brain. And it is lovely when my brain wakes up. I love that. It doesn't happen all the time. And then this weekend, I will be prepping for next Tuesday's live sale. I'm so excited. I have some more new stuff and more new ideas for the live sale. And I don't know. I mean, we're not making boatloads of money, right? We're not one of the big wigs, but we are having an awfully good time. It's just, I didn't know having a live sale would be so much fun. Just hanging out, talking, joking, singing. We were singing last time. I love music. Songs are the bestest. Okay. So, here's what we got. We got a pocket and a card, and this card is supposed to fit in this pocket, but it is an awfully tight fit. Look at that, just, it has, I mean, can you imagine how thin you'd have to get your glue? So I'm either going to make gussets for this one, or trim the card down a little, or not put it in here and put it in here instead. But look, I don't like that. That's not right. So there's some adjustments and ideas will have to be made. And then there's this, and this, I mean, I think it was designed to go on top of here. Whether it was designed to or not, but it doesn't really matter, but it can. And I think that's where it's going to go. And I'm not sure if it'll go that way. I think I'm going to like it better this way. Let's see. It should be an aha ta-da moment when I turn it over. This looks fine. I like that better than I did the other way, but this should be fabulous. Okay, maybe not fabulous, but I definitely like that better. And now I like how it looks like my tag has a hat on. That's a little funny. Okay, so I might do that. I'm not 100% committed to it yet, because this ow. Okay, this could also go on a page edge in the same journal. Like this could go on one page. This could be tucked into another page. This could go into a belly band or hidden paper clip, and this could be on a page, and then you have a whole unit of stuff throughout your journal. For me, however, to start off with, these are a little in your face. Just because I don't usually, these are not even that bright of colors, really. And for me, these are bright colors, and they're making my eyes go buggy. I'm a big baby, but we have these. And I think that decorating these things with vellum doodles is going to lighten mood, create some whimsy, and hopefully, because vellum is a little foggy, it will tone things down a bit. Oh, I like that already. That's kind of a cool thing. This guy's not going to fit on anything in particular, though. His belly is going to get cut off, and his tail feathers are going to get cut off if I put him on something. I should have made him a wee bit smaller. He's awful cute, though. He turned out cuter than I thought, because it was hard. It's hard to see drawing on vellum and in yellow. I don't recommend it. Okay. Anyway, I don't know if that'll work. I sure like him, though. But you know what? If you do these vellum doodles, another element for making your journal decorating cohesive, right? So if I can't use him on one of these pieces, he's still a vellum doodle, so he can go somewhere else in the journal and it would still match. So I really have this whole unit of stuff that goes. Oh, I kind of like that, but I would like it better if it had a stem. I wonder if we can just give it these guys. Maybe it just has leaves with it. No, I don't like that already. Maybe it just has this guy. No, don't like that either. Okay, maybe that doesn't go on there. What about this ridiculous thing? I actually kind of like that. Does it fit on here? Let's see if it fits on the pocket. I need to get the pocket unwarped. Oh my gosh, it just fits. That's kind of hilarious. So I'm going to this is also curled. All my stuff is curled. Okay. that's kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. So if I did that, I have this little odd flower that I did with a different technique. And I don't know that I love it, but still, it's cute. I don't love you, but you're cute. What if I made a little garden with it, though? I could make a little garden, like so, and like so, and maybe the taller one goes up the other side, like that. Come on, sit, stay. There we go. I could do that. I don't know how well this goes with this, because that's like way out there, and that's kind of just a flower with leaves. Well, hello, Revan. Hold on a sec, buddy. Echo, can you please send a message to Justin?
Okay, Cheryl. What's your voice message for Justin then?
Sorry to interrupt, dear, but could you please let Revan in? He's at my window, and I'm still recording.
Got it. Ready to send?
Yes.
Sending now.
So I think the real answer, sorry for the interruption. I think the real answer is I can't get away with that. Can I? Can I get away with that? Can I put a feather behind this one and call it matchy match? No. No. What if I put a real leaf behind this one? Does that help? It actually kind of does in my brain. It actually kind of does. How about if I put it down here like this? Like that? I actually really love that. I don't know if I'm just the biggest weirdo. But yeah, I kind of like it. I'm not in love with that flower. I should maybe make a different one. Okay. So, there's my plan for this set, I guess. I could put something on here, but I'm out of little things, so I might have to doodle some more. Or just call it good the way it is. And, oh, you know what I didn't think of? I didn't think of layering. So, if I look at the scraps over here on the side, let's see if there is something that stands out. Well, one thing for sure is if I wanted to put some sort of decoration or label on here, I could just do a stripe, right? Stupid easy like that. Not all that, you know, fabulous or innovative, but still, it works. Honestly, I think these things are already so layered, I can't imagine how or why I would put more layers on, but I want to think about it anyway. I want to at least think about it. I really love this piece of paper. So I think what I am going to do is tear it and see how it would look. If I layered just a bit of it under here, like so. Does that do anything? Does it add anything? I mean, not really. It doesn't really add anything, except I like that pattern. What if we pull it down here and pulled the bit up? Well, I don't like the straight edge sticking out, so I'd have to fix that, but oh, I actually like that a lot. I am absolutely going to do that. Okay. All right, let's just do it. Now, the first decision has been made, but I need to tear this edge down and then actually edge it because I wanna. And then we're gonna put this about like so. Okay, got it. Okay. Now for this one, you know how fun vellum is to try to glue. So I'm gonna get, it's here, I know it is. Oh, there you are. I'm gonna get my glue book out, and I have wrinkle-free glue stick. It's not actually wrinkle-free. Oh my gosh, and it's too old. Look at it glob. Glob, glob, glob. It's gotten gloopy. Alright. There we go. Let's get this on here. First decorating decision made. Let's see what we end up with. Hopefully a nicely visible flower, a less visible situation with a vellum, and some patterns visible through the doodle. That's what I'm hoping for, and I think that's what I got. Although the leaf kind of disappears, doesn't it? I might have to strengthen that line. Looks like I might have missed a little glue down here. So maybe I'll get a little glue down here and get this a little bit more invisible. All right, well, those glue sticks are toasty. Okay, step number 1. And I definitely want to get my green marker out and strengthen that line right there. So we'll do that in the end. But let's go ahead and go forward with all these ideas. So I'm going to use this little junction right here as a glue spot because I took all the pieces off and bumped them around and all kinds of stuff, right? And now I don't know how to exactly get them the same. So I use some kind of, oh shoot, and this one I did backward. All right, whatever. There we go. Leaf number 1. And we'll put leaf number 2 was kind of almost touching it, but oh shoot, look at, I might have put it in the wrong spot. We'll adjust. We'll adjust. We're close enough. It is important when you're gluing vellum to try to get no bubbles. I very rarely achieve that. The extra white spots are where there wasn't glue, and the bubbles will also be whiter or grayer. There's an air bubble right there. Not happy about you. This one went on pretty nice though. Kind of happy about that. And this one, to make it a lovely garden. Okay. I might do some more marker / pen adjustment to that one. Also, this feels a little off kilter. Maybe a little word or a sentiment goes there, or maybe a little bug. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe a little bug. These are intertwined a little. So let me take a look at what we got to do here. Because I do want that tucked in a little bit and going over a little bit. Like so. So I think what I'm going to have to do is put a line right carefully right there. My fingers are all sticky with glue. And then I'll put a little down there too. Hopefully that'll hold it together pretty well, because I want to trim a little of the border. I wish to trim closer to the doodle, just so I have a little more wiggle room of gluing space, because it is really tight on this one. Hold on, drop my glue stick to the floor. Hey, I found a doodle. Look at that doodle. Why is that on the floor? How is that even on the floor? Oh my goodness. I blame kitties. I blame kitties. I blame them for everything, whether it's their fault or not. They don't mind. Okay. Also going to do the same thing on the top. Some just hairline trimming. Yeesh. Yeesh. Okay, there we go. Hairline trimming. Now this thing can go on as a single unit. Perfect. And because I trimmed just that speck, I should at least be able to finagle it in position nicely. Alright, there we go. Eek, this is so goopy. What a mess. Worth it for the most part for vellum, but I guess I should use it more often because it seems to be a little old, a little past its prime. Oh, come on, down a little. Oops. Okay, good. I think we're good. enough. I thought that little chunk might have been enough. It were not. Whatever you do, try to never crease vellum. So that's one part you'll never fix. I just folded that vellum and I was almost not careful enough. All right, there's my funky plant. not sure how I feel about this one. My robot plant. Okay. We can set the doodle aside and set the other pieces aside too, because we will do the finishing stuff in a minute. But look at this set. We got to do some gluing over here. And I'm just going to put this plant here. And this little plant with a birdie. And just this plant. That's it. This one's much calmer, isn't it? Much calmer. Oh my goodness, I ate up a ton of our time too. So I'm going to pause. I will come back when these are all glued and we'll do the finishing bits together. Okay, hang on. Okie dokie, so what did we end up with? I have a couple of mock-up signatures right here. 3 actually. And I thought we could take a look at what we could do with this stuff. So, I just put, instead of the string swirly thing, which is what I wanted on here, I couldn't find my eyelets at the moment and I decided to give up. So I turned the circles into a button and I put a Velcro closure on the envelope. So there we go. One Velcro closed envelope. This can be tucked on a page with a paper clip. And I happen to have a paper clip. It's a big ugly one, so forgive it. It doesn't show off the job in the best light. But there we go. We have a piece tucked like so. And then maybe we put a tab. Oh, wait a minute. This is not the set with the tab. Oh. So later in the book then, maybe on the first page, right? And then the first page of the second half of the signature. We put a pocket down here or back here. And the tag goes in. And then we also have a bunch more decoration stuff. So maybe along with that center page thingy, maybe we do a birdie. Okay, he doesn't go on that page. Okay, fine. A flower does though, like so. That goes. And then you can use some of these leftover bits to start creating strips for page markers, or I mean page edging. So maybe not this piece by itself, but decorate it, right? And then that fits on. Oh, and that's the first page of the new signature. So let's pretend that we put, oh, I have less than 30 seconds. Okay, I'm going to go over that hour mark again. YouTube hates me. It's okay. So let's just pull up one of these fancy paper clips and pretend we put a fancy edge or a page edge on here. And we'll put the birdie in this one. And he is decorating a page. Oh, and then maybe he needs a nest to sit on. So we could take some of the scraps to create a birdie nest. Or at least give him a place to rest his little birdie bones. Right? Like so. Okay. And then pretend that's secure. Let's, in the middle section, we can put the other envelope. So here's the other envelope. And that can be tucked in a tuck spot. Here, maybe it's got a tuck right here, and it just goes like so into the pocket or into the tuck spot. And then later in the journal, we have a pocket with the little birdie on it. And this one actually doesn't fit in the pocket. I could have adjusted it, but I did not. So maybe we have a pocket with something else. And then on the back page of the signature, maybe we have the card tucked in a different kind of tuck. So maybe there's a, here, wait. Maybe we do a page edge that's not glued all the way, and we tuck this right here, right? And then what I said in the other one was maybe this marks the center of the signature. Come on, there you go. Maybe you put the tab on like so. There we go. So a couple of different looks for the exact same product, and a few ways to use them. And what a lovely look it creates. My first attempt at Masterboard May, and getting to know the maker, and you know, the How Do You Do group. So make sure that you check into the other folks doing How Do You Do art by typing in this hashtag, How Do You Do art, or you know, copy paste, because that's easier. And then like, comment, and subscribe, please, because that really helps stuff. It helps all the stuff. All right, I'm going to upload this video, and we're going to get started with Masterboard May and get to know the maker. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in another Masterboard adventure. Thank you. Bye.